All right, you guys have been, I promised you a men's haircut tutorial for a long time ago. And here I am, just finally getting around to doing it. This here is my model, Stuart. Okay, so this is just gonna be your standard men's cut. I call it a missionary cut, just like a clean cut, okay? I'm going to do, so I have my clippers here. The clippers have 2 numbers on them. They've numbered each of these. So this one is a size 3, but it also tells you 10 millimeters or 3/8 of an inch. For Stuart, he has very, very thick hair, so I always just do a 1, which is 1/8 of an inch long. Also, on your clippers, you guys, I don't know if you know this, but this is a half, okay? So this is down as low as it goes. This is what they call a 0, and if you move it up, it'll cut it just a hair longer, no pun intended. And this is a half step. So if I want to do a 1.5, I'm gonna put my 1 on like this, and then move that up so that it goes to the half. Right now I'm just gonna do a straight 1. So when I do a haircut, find the I don't even know what they call this, just the crown of the head, and I will use my clippers up to that point. You have to look at the shape of their head. Sometimes if they have a really round head, you want to take it lower, because once you start going this direction with your clippers, that's when it's going to start looking weird and you're going to have a hard time. It'll kind of go like this and then straight up, but you don't want to do that. You want to keep their haircut nice and straight. So take the clippers, sorry, take the clippers and just go straight up, and wherever it comes off the head naturally is where you want to leave it. So then, once I've done that, I want to go in with my, I call this a peanut. This is a Sterling Stylist. That's where this is where I go in and I just clean up all the edges. So I go straight across here. And I'll go around the ear. Careful not to go too high above the ear, if you can help it. Also, try and make sure you get a straight line across the back. Sometimes they want you to curve it, sometimes you do a straight line or a square. That's personal preference. Just make sure that it's level on the back. Okay, so we've got a nice sharp ledge right here that we want to get rid of, okay? So I am now gonna take my scissors, I'm gonna get all of this wet, I'm gonna take my scissors and then I'm going to take vertical sections like this after it's wet. I wanna make sure, I don't wanna put my fingers with the curve of the head. I want to make sure that they're straight up and down so that I can just basically cut off that corner and make it continue to go straight up, okay? So take your comb. You can see that right there is where it blends from the shorter hair to the longer. So I'm just gonna make sure my fingers are straight up and then just cut that off. They also say not to cut past the second knuckle, or you might cut yourself. And then I just work my way around the head, trying to cut it straight up, cutting off all those corners. Okay, so that's taken quite a bit of the ledge off, although there still is going to be some there. So the next step, all the way around, is that I will take my comb and I will comb straight up, and I'll just continue taking off that corner. Make sure that you don't turn your comb this way, or else you're going to cut too much. Keep your comb straight up. Okay, so we're getting most of it, but if you look at it from this angle, you'll be able to see, especially if they have a really thick hair. If they have thinner hair, this wouldn't be as noticeable, but if they have really thick hair like my husband does, you'll be able to see every little bump. So like I need to go in with my scissors and my comb again and just trim off very carefully these just little extra hairs. So doing that, I need to do that better. But so now I'm gonna look at it from this angle, make sure there aren't any of those little guys, and I'm gonna trim those off again with my scissors and comb, and then I'll be able to trim the top. Okay, so now we're ready to cut the top. So Stuart, he likes his at finger length, which is a finger's length. So I'm just gonna come in and cut that off, and I'm just gonna divide it into sections this way and cut everything at finger length, and then I'm gonna come in and do the same thing this way. What you want to look for is these little corners. So where you end before and where it starts again, just cut those off and it'll even it out. Okay, so I've cut this way, so there's gonna be waves. I don't know if you can see this. Let me find a way you can see it. Like, see how there's a peak here and then up and a peak here? It's because I didn't cut exactly the same height at every one, so that's why I want to come in the opposite direction now and just trim off those peaks so that it's nice and straight. See that one? Oh, right there. There's a nice big peak right there. Just gonna trim that off, and I'm gonna go across the whole hair and make sure it's all the same length. I do like to leave the front just a hair longer because it's at the curve of the head, and so I just try and continue it straight across like this. Okay, so we are almost done. I do like to come in here, just make sure that this is a little bit, make sure this is straight. But right here, there's gonna be some areas, just because he has a natural cowlick that brings his hair all of this way. I come in and I have to comb it straight back, and then I can see kind of how there's a jog. It goes up and then out and around. So I like to come in and just blend that. Just to make sure that there's no extra long pieces, so that if it does, like if you do comb it this way, see that? That's what I gotta get rid of. Nice. Okay, so I do any final checks along.
Here, look out. Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Yep, so see this right here? It's kind of a little bit, there's a little dip right here. I gotta fix that. See how that looks so much better? There's no little dips there. So look on the other side. You can see there's some very, very, very tiny ones here. You can use your comb. I am living life on the edge, and I will just freehand it, which is okay because I'm experienced. But you may not want to do that because you risk.
Because we're married, so she doesn't care.
No, I'm just that confident in my skills.
Yeah, she is.
Okay. See that? Like I said, thinner hair is much more forgiving. Thick hair, where you're trying to cut thick hair really short, definitely is a lot more difficult. So again, check this angle. Check every angle all the way around. Make sure there's no weird places it juts out. Okay. And there we have a nice military approved haircut.
Looks great, boo. Thank you.